but okay.
Whatever. All right,
I
ready?
said that's not.
Like, that's not nice, right? All right, here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Unpack Your Bag Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Perks. Yes, the one and only. There's only one Tony Perks. It's like there's actually an actor named Anthony Perkins, who's a psycho. And I have my co-host Chantel.
Yeah, because there's only one Chantel. Even though it was an actor, but it's only one. It's only one.
What? Are you like you? I don't know anybody named Chantel besides you.
I know a few.
Do you really? I honestly, when I first heard your name, I never heard anybody. I was like, Chantel?
I know a man named Chantel.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. He's I don't know anybody who spells their name like me.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else has like an extra out version or
okay.
like with
like
a W, like a SHAWN, and I'm like, oh, TELLE.
Really?
Like
really?
Extra,
okay.
a lot of extra letters.
Uh-huh.
And I know a couple TELs, but it's only one Chantel.
Well, excuse me, Miss Chantal. Because you have it's TAL, right?
Yeah.
So it should be Chantal.
No, it shouldn't. No, it shouldn't.
Because TAL.
It's still Chantel.
Because that sounds like an EL. Tel, TEL.
It's Chantel.
I know.
And tel is TELL.
Yeah, but still, if you're gonna say tel,
TEL don't work.
But TAL doesn't definitely not work.
Either way, it's AL.
Like, I'm not gonna argue with your name.
And my name is Chantel.
All right, my name is Anthony.
And there's only one apparently, apparently there's only one.
It should be Anthony, but it's Italian.
I'm not calling you that.
You guys say Anthony, Tony. The thing is, I don't think they know my name is Anthony Perkins, but Tony Perkins.
I'm not calling you that.
Anthony.
I'm not calling you that.
All right, whatever. Well, let's get into this podcast, guys.
I'm not calling you that ever.
Whatever. It's okay. If you guys are first time listening in, this podcast is dedicated for everyone who wants to unpack your bag about personal stuff and more about self-development and growth and kind of getting the shitty stuff outside of you and really being honest and transparent with yourself. So this is the podcast mainly about, and we dive into a bunch of deep topics.
The shitty stuff out of you.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think.
Well said.
Right? Straight to the point. Gunk out, good stuff in. And also, this is a positive podcast, so I wanted to keep really positive spin on everything, like the good and most stuff. Besides devil worshippers, I don't see they're good in that, but that's another topic.
How did we get here?
Because I don't see anything good or devil worshiping, but okay. No, I'm saying there's a positivity, but I don't necessarily think devil worshiping is really good. So that's my
but like, why would your mind go there?
Because the only thing I can think of that's really bad is devil worshiping.
Devil worshippers think that is good, so
that's fine. They're in their opinion, and it's my opinion.
I don't want. Let's move on.
I said that's my positive.
Let's move on.
This is the space where positive stuff goes. If you think you're positive, fine, but you think devil worshiping is kind of crazy. No, I say if you do devil worshiping, I'm cool. We'll leave it at that. Okay, let's get to the topic. Okay, so we're gonna talk about this situation. Okay, so Chantel, would you take care of a man who you married for 11 years completely financially if he decided that he didn't want to work for all 11 years?
Would I take care of a man financially for 11 years because he decided he didn't want to work?
Yes.
He has the ability to work.
Oh, yeah.
Is he working on something instead of working?
Not that I recall I've ever heard of.
Does he work on business? Does he?
He does not work. No, he does not. No, he does not work.
Does he have a skill
There's
that could yield some sort of income?
No, he does not work anything.
Am I independently wealthy?
No, what he does work is he works out at the gym.
So he
that's
looks
the only
good.
Kind of work he works
So then
out.
he looks good.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's all right.
Okay. So he looks good. We just gotta assume that he's fine. I mean,
he's a masculine dude.
Okay. Well, you ask
good-looking older gentleman.
So you're asking me, and in order for this story to make sense in my head, I'm gonna go ahead and say that he's like Morris Chestnut fine, except like 6'4",
even finer,
like 6'4".
I mean, I don't know how many ugly niggas can get away with that.
I'm just gonna assume
you got to be good looking to not work.
I'm going to assume, right? Because you asked me the question, and in order for the question to make sense in my mind, bro is 6'5".
Okay.
And he's Morris Chestnut fine.
Okay. If that's your standard for yes.
Okay.
6'5".
I gotta make it up.
Okay, no,
I gotta make it up.
In reality, he's probably 5'8".
Oh, and he's short? So not only do you want me to take care of a man for 11 years, you want me to take care of a short man for 11 years? Oh, it's not looking too good.
I shout out. I'm sorry for all the short men, because I know there's nothing you can really do to change that. I'm sorry, y'all, but you ain't blessed with the talent with the tallness. I'm sorry.
So you want me to take care of a short? I mean, there's nothing wrong with short men. Like, shout out to short men. but
is it your
in
preference?
this, it's just a scenario. He's asking me a question, and in the question, I need clarity.
The shortness does add to the disappointment.
So you want me to take care of a short man for 11 years?
Morris Chestnut at 5'7".
Morris Chestnut is actually he's short.
Is he really?
Yeah, I think Morris Chestnut is like 5'10", 5'11".
Oh, okay. Well, it's not.
Which is not terrible.
It's not short, but it's not tall. It's like averagey.
It's not tall, but like
kind of averagey.
You saying like I'm 5'9".
I mean, I'm kind of tall and I'm 6'2". So anybody like 6'3", like 6'4" and up is tall. 6'2" to 6 foot is like kind of averagely kind of tall. I think, at least my opinion.
But you're telling me that the man is 5'9".
Yeah, so 5'9".
That's my height.
So 5'9" didn't work. And I don't have all the details of the whole entire story.
Okay.
But what I know is that
would I take care of him?
This woman worked 2 jobs. And I mean, from 2 jobs, I mean from morning to night, from like 6 in the morning to 11 at night, daily. And then this dude would not work.
I don't think it's an issue of taking care of a man, right? Like people look at that and think like, you take care of him. I think what's bigger than that for me is I can't be with somebody who is inconsiderate of my plight or what I'm doing on a daily basis, right? Okay. So I'm working 2 jobs, morning to night. I have to be exhausted. There's no way to do that and not be exhausted, right? So I'm exhausted.
Okay.
I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I'm tired. And you're okay with letting me just be exhausted?
But it gets worse. It gets worse.
So he's short. He inconsiderate. I'm just coming up with these things right now as I hear the story. I don't know. But he's short. He's inconsiderate. And because he's this inconsiderate, I feel like he cannot really love me. So he don't love me. He's inconsiderate and he's short.
And then on top of you find out he's cheating on you.
And the nigga's cheating.
It's like yes.
So cheating. Chantel wouldn't have let this go 11 years. Chantel wouldn't have let this go 6 months.
I see.
I couldn't because one thing that's very big for me is being considerate of the other person. I think that's huge in relationships.
For sure.
So if you're watching me struggle, and you don't offer to help, hell no. I can't be with that person for 10 minutes. I literally despise men who see me with stuff in my hand and won't open the door leading out of a place, right? I despise that person. I despise men who will see me walking into, and despise is such a harsh word, but will see me walking into a building with a box in my hand and don't grab it or offer to help. Or
even open the door for you.
Or open the door. You don't do nothing. You see me with this big ass box. And you see the door is closed.
And you see me struggling. I think it's like a common. It's common courtesy. Like, so I mean, especially for women. But I mean,
be
even
with that
if it's
man
another
for 11
person.
years, hell no. Be with that nigga for 6 months, I doubt it.
I respect that. I
doubt it
because honestly,
and the nigga is cheating.
Because how I look at it is like, I don't know, maybe like we were talking last week.
A short man that don't work is cheating. I'm just. Oh my god!
No, it's like I don't
understand.
He's pretty short. I mean,
a short man that don't work, he's cheating.
In my eyes, I thought he was short. So, but I agree, and I
don't know. Maybe the D is bomb. I don't understand the scenario at all. Like, I don't know. Maybe he is like a hell of a dude in bed, but I don't see this scenario working. Period.
Even in a hell of a dude in bed, like I mean, that's still a long. There's only so much bed you can do to make up for all the other stuff. Height being one, and it's not I don't the nigga. I'm confused.
That only lasts for a certain amount of time. The short nigga with no job is cheating.
Well, it's crazy because how I look
at
it.
Where'd he find her at?
I don't know. That's a good question.
It wasn't at work. Maybe while he was working out, he found her.
I don't know. That's a good question. But the thing that strikes me so weird is because I don't know any men that don't have a desire to like build something for yourself or for your family or for, like it's weird to hear that there's men that want to like not do anything. Like, I don't know. To me, it's hard to fathom that, because it's like, I don't understand. Like, don't you have pride in, you know, what you do and what you want to show?
All it is, you know, like it's like you're short, dude.
Like short pain.
I can't. Maybe he's real smart. Is he smart? Like, is he an excellent conversationalist? Because maybe he's funny.
I never particularly cared
this
for
this nigga gotta be Kevin Hart funny.
No.
Maybe he's funny.
Maybe that's what it was.
He's funny.
Maybe, but I mean, not to me. I mean, I never really had conversations. It's just always like, I don't know. I just never really.
Maybe he's funny.
Could be.
And he's super charismatic. He's got to be funny and super charismatic. Not because he's short, but because, like, I just don't understand how somebody would stay with this particular person for so long. So there have to be other qualities that are overshadowing what he's not bringing to the table. So maybe he's funny. Maybe he can cook. Maybe he's excellent in bed. Maybe he cleans. Maybe he rubs her feet and greases her scalp.
Or here's a flip. Or maybe
he greases her scalp.
Maybe could it be that the woman is insecure and doesn't want to be alone?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's definitely a part of it.
That could be a big part, because maybe there are these other factors that he's not even doing. But I mean, being alone is hard to do.
But you know what will make you overlook that?
What?
A good hair rub. If the house is clean and he cooks, like, I'm trying to make the nigga sound better. You're trying so hard. I'm trying to make the nigga sound better. So I think that maybe he rubs her head, like gives her like a good scalp massage.
maybe.
I don't know about all the ladies, but like a good scalp massage.
No, honestly, I do. Oh my gosh, every time my wife does this, I'm like, I'll melt. I'm like,
oh my goodness,
count me out.
A good scalp massage. Maybe the house be clean when she come home. Maybe he cooks really well.
Maybe
he's probably very, very funny, because he's obviously not super considerate. And if he's not super considerate, then I'm feeling like she goes into the bathroom and the toilet seat is up. Like,
why is that? Okay, pause this little conversation. Why is that such a big? Is that a big deal for you? Before we go on, is that a big? Is that something that can bug you?
Not as much as people who don't replace the toilet paper. Like, if there's no more toilet paper on the roll and you don't replace it, I think that's
really annoying.
That bothers me so much, because what niggas don't is, when I say niggas, I'm sorry, what men don't understand is, like, we have to wipe every time we use the bathroom.
Okay.
Like, every single time. Mm-hmm. So every single time there should be toilet paper. So the fact that you guys can go to the bathroom maybe 4 or 5, 6, 7 times a day and not need no toilet paper is inconsiderate. That's your plight, right? Like, I'm only thinking about me when I go pee. I'm not thinking about the other people who live in the house. I mean,
I'm going about, I'm not thinking about anybody else. Just the word. But okay. I do get that.
If women were like that would be fucked up. Like, if we cook dinner for everybody but you, like when I'm cooking, like, that's fucked up, right? When I was cooking, I really wasn't thinking about nobody else.
I forgot you were even here. You want food? Like, nigga,
that's being considerate when you cohabitate.
Yeah, that's right. True. So the toilet seat isn't that big of a deal.
The toilet seat doesn't bother me as much as the toilet paper thing. I think the toilet paper thing drives me nuts.
But I don't understand why the big deal the toilet seat thing is, because I've heard people get mad at that. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily, like, I don't have this person like maybe that,
put it down. Like, yeah, that's not difficult either.
It's not, but also annoying. It's like, is it difficult to look before you sit?
I mean, it's as difficult to look before I sit as it is for you to just push it down. Because if I look before I sit, I got to change my whole body. When all you have to do when you're facing the toilet is go like this when you finish. You don't even have to use your whole hand. All you got to do is push it down.
But that means, but as you walk into the bathroom, you're going to see the toilet.
And as you're leaving the bathroom, you can push the toilet seat down.
But you may forget just to put it down because you just peed, done.
Yeah, well, honestly, I might forget to look.
How do you forget to look where you're going to sit?
How do you forget to put the toilet seat down? Exactly. We could go around in circles all of the time. Because you're seeing it one way and I'm seeing it another.
I know, but this is one point I do want to make. I lift it up, use it. I'm going to wash my hands and leave. When you're going to do something, you're going to sit down. You're going to look before you sit. And you sit in a chair, you look before you sit.
You know, and
so I do get that point, but that's why I think it's like you're going to use it. It's not the after effect. It's the front fact. You didn't even look and sit. I would never sit down in the toilet.
And that is your whole consideration for not putting the toilet seat down?
I mean, I do. Mostly. I forget every once in a while. But I mean,
it's like, how could you... You know what I'm saying?
I just don't think it's that big of a deal. Personally.
Like, how could you be hungry when you just ate? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not cooking for you. I don't know. I just made that up. I don't know.
Wait, hold on.
I don't know. I just said something.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I don't know. I didn't have anything else.
Okay, so all right, back to the dude. 11 years.
So he's short.
Married 11 years.
He gives great head massages.
Apparently, in this scenario.
He cooks and he cleans and he puts the toilet seat down and he replaces the toilet paper.
So if the roles were reversed, that's what be like the stay-at-home wife kind of thing would be like, house duties.
I don't know.
Maybe that's it.
I don't know. I
don't think that was a situation.
I don't know these people.
I don't know.
I don't know.
What I will say is I don't know all the details, but what I will say is this: as far as a man, it's strange to me, in my personal opinion. Mm-hmm. It's just strange to not have a desire to want to build something. Maybe, honestly, it could be that maybe he was just at home and doing all those things, warranted. But then you still kind of.
Do they have children?
No, they have children separately, not together.
Huh.
So
is he taking care of the children?
And I think the kids are adults. Both their kids are adults.
So what would make me think about this differently is if they had children and he's
no.
taking
there's
care of children. Like
nobody.
He's staying at home to take care of his children.
No, there's no children there.
Maybe. Oh, that's understandable. That's understandable.
I can see that, but that's not the case. I mean, I know for sure there was no children. At least young children. And if there was, maybe in the beginning, maybe some teenagers. Maybe teenagers in the beginning.
So he's short.
So
there's no children.
It's just hard for me to hear that because as a man, in my personal view, I'm not saying my view is right.
Yeah.
But just in my view, it's just weird to hear like not having any drive or not having any kind of like to produce something.
Yeah.
Like to produce something, like to produce, like, I mean, I take pride, and we talked about this last week with me, like, I identify with like being a provider, and that to me is an important quality. I don't see, it's hard just to hear, even if you want to be a stay-at-home dad, that's fine too.
Right, that's fine.
But you also have a thing you want to accomplish. You're better at staying at home and you want to help the kids, or you're building something at home. So maybe he could be building something at home. I highly doubt it. I've never heard that.
But after 11 years, you should have something to show for it.
Anything. And like that movie, Criminy. Is it Criminy?
Acrimony.
Acrimony, sorry.
Let's go with the Criminy. I don't know.
Acrimony.
Ask Tyler. Tyler, what the name of the movie is?
How do you say Acrimony? Acrimony.
With Taraji.
But so in that movie, she took care of that dude for like 15 years, and then he made it big. Okay.
But that's so this situation is the movie is a little bit differently.
Yeah.
The movie is a little bit different. Mm-hmm. Here's why. The movie is a little bit different for two reasons. The first reason is that he was in school and he had been working on this idea for years.
Yeah.
Even before he met her. Okay. And he was getting the education to work on this idea. That's thing number one. Thing number two is that he cheated on her.
In the very beginning.
Beginning,
yeah.
Okay. So we don't know how those scars are going to manifest. But he cheated. She decided to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Now she's working all of this stuff, working. His idea ends up making it big, but they blow up because of the fact that he cheated one time. So she has scars about that.
Yeah.
So if she sees him with somebody else, she has a fit, right? Mm-hmm. That's part of the reason why they break up. Why it went bad, right? Another reason is because she lost her mom's house. Right. And that part I can kind of feel because yes, you're working on this thing, but you can't go. You can't get a part-time job.
Yeah. So you're not having any results.
You can't do anything and that's my issue with this. Right. My issue with this is not necessarily the job thing, although that is a big deal. My issue with this is I cannot be with somebody who is inconsiderate to me. Mm-hmm. How can you see me? Somebody that you say that you love and that you care about and that you would do anything for, right? Mm-hmm. Right? That's the person that we're talking about. How could you watch that person go out and struggle and you not do anything to help?
I understand that.
How could you watch me get up out of the bed every day, into the cold, come back late every day, right? And not feel anything to want to help, make sandwiches. Right, like
it shows that you don't care.
That's what it is. It's so you don't love me. Mm-hmm. You don't love me. You understand what I'm saying? You don't. Mm-hmm. I've become your mother.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and at that point, it's easy for him to go cheat because
Because you're my mama. You just trying to tell me what to do and this and that.
You're my mama, right? And like, then another dynamic we have to look at is that if she's doing all of this, you best believe when she come home, her mouth is probably real disrespectful. Like, you better believe that when she come home, her mouth probably real disrespectful. Mine would be.
Like, I've been out all day.
Her mouth probably real disrespectful.
Yeah.
And it's all the seed is up. Blah, 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 blah. Like
everything that could go wrong is going to be magnified.
Oh yeah, it's probably real disrespectful.
So question with that movie, because I watched it a long time ago. I just rewatched it a little bit, like maybe the most of it, maybe like last week or something. Do you agree, or what is your stance on her being pissed after the fact that, like, you know, they separate in the movie, they separated. This is kind of gonna tie into the story, but they separated. She divorced him. He asked for her back in the little legal court thingy. She's like, no. And then he blew up, made it big, gave her like, I think $10 million. But then she was still so mad and angry. And her, even though all the damage that happened with financially, she got everything she wanted. The house, the car, everything. But then she was still so angry that she didn't get the life that she wanted with him. That she was trying to sabotage his life with this new woman. Right. Even though she's the one who cut it off. And even though that, because that deal came up, the first deal for $800,000, he said no. And then she's like, get out the house. And then, you know, all that kind of stuff happened. They've divorced. And then he made it big, paid her out, you know, and moved on with his life. And then she was pissed at him for moving on, saying that was her spot.
So if I remember this correctly, he makes it big almost simultaneously as she's having her breakdown, right? Like, they're happening pretty close to the same time, right?
Well, she kind of broke down. Then they separated because she thought he was cheating. Then like, he still didn't make it. And then they went to court to divorce. He asked for her back. She said no, you know. Then right after he made it big. Right after he made it big.
So it's been a minute since I've seen the film. It's been a minute since I've seen it, but I've only seen it one time. Yeah. So let me say that's not enough time for me to sit and have deep opinions about it. But I think that in this instance, she was always carrying anger. Right? She was carrying anger from the time that they were, I guess, in college or whatever. Yeah, whenever the cheating thing happened. Yeah, it was something that she was carrying this entire time that was never resolved. It was never healed, even though he never cheated again. Right? So, I mean, that speaks to the way that some scars heal, right? And the way that they manifest, right? So I think that that's a big part of it, because she was angry the entire time that they were together. It was just suppressed. Yeah, right?
Okay, I can see that.
So that anger, coupled with the fact that she was a sole provider, for
like 15 years or however
15 plus years, she was a sole provider for a man who was trying to make it big, that cheated on her. But she loved him, right? She loved him, which is why, you know what I mean, she was doing it. And in that process, she lost her mother's house. Okay. So I think there's layers to this, because layer number one is he cheated, right? She never gets over that. Thing number two is that even though he cheated, she takes him back, and you have and takes care of him. You have your family now in your ear talking about this nigga, right? So those are seeds, right? That have been planted, over the course of 15 years. And she's holding on to some anger that she never really let go of, right? And honestly, as a husband, if he was more focused on his wife, right, and the woman that he said that he loved, in addition to him building whatever things, they might have been able to work through the anger, right? He might have been able, you know what I'm saying, to do some things, right? To be like, I'm not doing X, Y, and Z, right? But the fact that she was his sole provider for 15 years and that he watched her be the sole provider, he watched her lose her mother's house, he watched her do these things, and never once, and the house caught on fire, all types of stuff, he never once did anything to address what was happening with his wife. So she snapped.
For a long period of time.
She snapped.
For a long time. She went
crazy. She went crazy. And the longer, and I believe she went crazy because she honestly believed that he was cheating on her again.
Yeah, because he found the girl's wallet in the truck.
So she is under the impression that he is cheating on her again, right? Another instance, right? You damn right she snapped. You cheated on me once,
there's no way it's believable.
And then, then I'm caring for you for 15 years, and this nigga cheating again. You damn right she snapped. So then in court, right, when she's divorcing him and he wants her back, she's like, I can't do it no more. But at the same time,
$10 million is
$10 million is $10 million. But at the same time, she is not crazy.
Yeah, okay, for sure.
What I'm going to say is that she is not crazy for then at the end of the story when he gets rich and he gets a new wife. She is not crazy for thinking that part of that life that this lady is living is hers.
Okay.
She's not crazy for thinking that.
I don't think she would be crazy for thinking that.
I mean, her actions manifested in crazy shit, right?
Yeah, her actions were crazy for
but
sure.
Honestly, I don't think it's crazy for her to believe like she's
to have
in
some
my
entitlement
spot.
To some degree.
Yeah.
Because of all the things you gave and served to the person.
And if you really think about it, $10 million is not enough. $10 million is chump change after he makes it. Because in reality, the only reason why she gets $10 million is because they got divorced before he made it big, right? So that divorce was final. And technically, he's like, I'm going to give her $10 million to appease my conscience because she did do all of this stuff for me, right? So I don't have a problem giving her the money. When in reality, everything that nigga made, she should have got half. She should have gotten half. And you can make an argument that she could have got more than that depending on what state they were in. Because all the intellectual property that he developed while they were married is hers too. Every piece of idea or thing that he did while they were married, while she was working, while she was paying his bills, while she was paying this nigga's health insurance, is hers.
So then the question I asked, if she were to get half or even more than half, would she have a right to be entitled then? No. Okay.
But she has a right to be angry.
She
has a right to feel like
she can feel how she wants.
And she has the right to feel like this guy, how does this guy go get happiness? And even though I got this money, my life is ruined. Right? And you could feel like that.
Yeah. Because money doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be happy.
And money's not healing these wounds, right? Like we're talking about 15 years of I mean, that's your life torture.
Is gone. That's your life gone, you know?
My youth.
Like your whole 15 years
I met this nigga in college.
Yeah. Yeah. But now you're rich.
The mistake that she made was going back to him after he cheated. The first time.
Yeah.
Because my opinion,
some people can work through it.
In my opinion, if you're young, because they were young, they were in college, and he just cheated on a whim. Like it was like some bullshit. It was easy for him to do it. Well, it seemed like it was easy for him to do it. Mind you, as a character, I don't know. That was the mistake that she made.
Okay.
I
can see that. I don't know. It's because
we're too young. Like, what's the point? What's the point of cheating on somebody when you're that young? Because if you don't want to be with somebody, just say that.
That's what I don't understand. And even with the situation that we were talking about prior to the story, I just think like if you're gonna step out and do that, it's better just to have the conversation. One, try to work it out, and if not, then separate.
But let me tell you why he's not doing that. He's not doing that because his bills are getting paid. He's not doing that because he has a free meal every night. Why would he walk away from that? He wouldn't. He would be stupid to walk away from some fully paid up shit.
But that's
because she's gonna go to work regardless. Because he ain't shit.
But that's so wrong.
Because the short nigga ain't shit.
Every time. This short stuff is.
I mean, like, and it's not like you're saying like that's wrong, and it's true. But the short nigga ain't shit.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to.
That's what this boils down to. He's not shit, and she was dealing with an ain't shit nigga for 11 years, and she decided that it was okay.
Yeah, and now the fruits of manifest into the ain't shit came out.
But think about the wounds that allowed her to sit with a nigga that ain't shit for 11 years. Think about the stuff that she has to fight internally, and now the nigga is cheating and he leaves. She's all the way fucked up.
And it's fucked up. It's really bad because like. Now this man who is not an ancient type of dude, whatever, now just scarred this lady and now perpetuated more hurt for somebody else, which would then she can turn that into that same kind of demeanor for somebody else, you know? So
I mean, it's it's a cold shot.
Yeah.
It's a cold shot, but there is something here in this relationship that we're not seeing.
But and honestly,
and there had to have been some good at some point.
It could be some. It could. I think. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I mean, I was in a very toxic relationship prior to this, and you know, a lot of it is because my insecurity, you know, and the way I was raised, I thought like this was normal, you know, and so I just didn't know any better. But two, just was like I was insecure as well.
Right.
You know, part of it was like I didn't have no chicks come my way. It was, you know, so it was like, all right, well. Shit, you know, that's kind of how it was. So I think maybe it could be her insecurity kept her there. Maybe she knew this whole time, but was like, I can't stand to be alone. Like at this age in my life, do I want to start over? Like, do I want to start over? But then it sucks because you're not doing that. You're still starting over anyways, you know? And it sucks. And it's like, it's hurtful.
That's sad.
And it's hard. It makes me angry. It makes me more, which it's funny. I'm always team guy, but it makes me more angry when a guy would do that than if a woman did it. Because I could see a man leech up on somebody, to me is like 10 times worse than a woman. Because and especially when you're capable of doing it. That's how I feel personally. It's sad. Like when a dude, a grown ass man, is capable of working and providing for your own family and doing something, not even just doing something that's productive, that you can have anything. Build a business. I don't care what it is. You even have a good ass hobby.
He could have mowed lawns or made sandwiches or.
I'm sorry. You had to keep the house. He had to keep the house clean. I guess I don't know, but I just think like it. I hate the perpetuation of like damaging cycles of people, and I think when people don't take accountability or when they don't address it, you end up damaging people, which makes the thing that you don't want in people happen more in people. And it's like, if you can just be honest, just be upfront about what it is. Those hard conversations are the ones that need it the most, but no one ever wants to address it.
That's sad.
It sucks.
I feel really bad for both parties involved. Actually, like that's just sad.
I feel bad, but I feel bad more for her than for him. I'm more sympathetic for women than I am for men, though. But
I hear you.
For me.
But again, like, we don't know the dynamics that went into this.
What if she was crazy as hell? Like,
what
if
we
she was
don't
like
know
crazy
the dynamics,
the
trauma. Like, we don't know the dynamics and the trauma that went into this. Honestly,
yeah.
So it's really hard to make a judgment. But based on what I heard today, like, I'm sad for both parties.
Yeah. I'm more. Yeah.
Like, don't ever let no short ain't shit niggas do you like that.
I think the title is gonna be short niggas.
Don't ever let no short ain't shit nigga treat you like
short
that. Short
ain't shit.
You deserve better. You deserve better. Like, if you gonna get mistreated by a tall nigga that look like.
We're not promoting dysfunctional relationships on this podcast.
We're not, but like, if you gonna get mistreated though,
you better be rich. Like, at least
if you gonna get mistreated, like, get mistreated by a tall nigga that's like, Morris Chestnut, Shamar Moore, Tay Diggs, you know what I'm saying? Like, real chocolatey fine.
Once we make it big, I'm gonna let you meet him. We're gonna make it big, or you gonna meet him, okay?
Who?
Morris Chestnut.
No, Morris Chestnut is married happily.
No, but you can meet him though.
I don't really need to. Like, I don't need to meet Morris Chestnut. That's not a desire.
Look at the eye roll, the eyes.
Yeah, like, I don't really want to meet Morris Chestnut. I'm using Morris Chestnut as an example. Okay. Right? Because there are a lot of women who would say that Morris Chestnut is like universally fine.
Who is your celebrity crush besides Morris Chestnut? Like, who would you say like is the attractive, like, oh, like that guy? Oh.
So
Chris Brown type of dude, or like are you more dark skin, light skin, Mexican, black,
Michael B.
Asian?
Jordan is gorgeous to me.
Okay.
Michael B. Jordan is gorgeous to me. However, I don't typically have like celebrity crushes based on looks. Like, I have celebrity crushes based on content, things that they produce into the world. So my number one celebrity crush would be J. Cole.
Well, what about Childish Gambino?
No,
he's
short. And I like his mind. I don't like short men.
I can tell.
I'm not attracted to short men.
If you are under 5'7", do not talk to
them. If you are under 5'11", if you are under 5'11", 5'10".
So what happens if you meet this person? Gorgeous, great personality, great work ethic.
And he's my height. I'll overlook it.
No, he's shorter than you.
I don't know.
I don't think I could do it. Just like an inch shorter.
I don't think I could do it. I don't know.
But he has everything you ask. Everything you ask for.
And I don't like the fact that you're putting all of these things into the universe right now. Like, it's making me uncomfortable. So stop saying it. Okay? Stop saying it. Stop saying that. Funny.
He's gonna be like a shorter Morris Chestnut.
Stop saying that, Anthony.
He's like,
quiet.
"What's up, baby?" Like, you can be like, "Fuck."
It's not funny.
And
like,
God's gonna be playing a cruel joke on you, like, "Here, Chantel."
It's not funny. Like, it's not a joke. It's not funny. I'm just personally not attracted to short men, and I think that's a requirement if I have to marry him. I need to be physically attracted to him. Anyway, my celebrity crush would be J. Cole, and not necessarily for his looks, because I don't
he's looking kind of crazy
find
now.
him super attractive, but like, again, content wise, like the things that you produce make you attractive to me.
Got you. So you're more like the integrity, the embodiment of the person more.
Yes.
Not the physical. I mean, that plays some
physical
role.
looks are important, right?
Yeah,
like,
it is. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
yes, the intellectual stimuli is much,
but it's crazy,
just as attractive.
That's crazy because
it's like 50-50, maybe even 60-40, honestly.
No, it's crazy really that the personality makes somebody attractive or not. Like, it's crazy how you can see someone really like good looking and then they're a shitty person and you're like, ugh. Yes. Like, I've seen that with women that are really attractive and their attitudes. I'm like, oh, gross. Like, you're way too entitled and you think you're top shit. Like,
or like
I'm cool,
arrogance.
I'm cool.
I think that like arrogance in a dude is like, like I can't. That's
it rubs you the wrong way.
It does rub me the wrong way. So it doesn't matter how attractive.
The arrogance is just done deal. The arrogance or height. If you had to choose between one of the two. If it was the same guy we were talking about earlier, but one was short, no arrogance, like the right amount of arrogance. The other one was tall, 6'5", but his arrogance is kind of like Kanye arrogance.
I don't have to marry. I don't have to marry either of them, correct?
But you wouldn't? Would you?
I don't have to marry either of them.
No, you don't have to marry them.
Okay, so
but you would have to shoot yourself. So look, you have to shoot yourself in both your feet.
So look, check this out. In the event that is not right, like let me go ahead and say this: I am perfectly okay with being single for the rest of my life and having friends. Gotcha. That's actually good. Like I'm okay with that.
That's actually how you get in a better relationship. And have a couple friends,
like.
Well, that's how you get in a really good relationship, by being fine single. Like
I'm good, and not I'm not spending my life with no crazy nigga. Like I'm not. And if there's any semblance of like this is not gonna work or I don't know, no, I have seen a lot of married. I've seen a lot of relationships.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've seen people who are married that probably shouldn't be, and the shit is scary. Like when you see shit like that, it's scary.
I know, because it makes you almost jaded to some degree. Like
it's scary.
Like, is this how everyone? Because like you don't see a lot of.
It's like a fucking horror movie.
You don't see a lot of successful marriages over like 10, 15, 20, 30 years. It's rare. It's a rare commodity nowadays. Yeah, the
marriages I see, the shit looks difficult, and if marriage is going to be hard anyway, it might as well be hard with somebody that I like.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's somebody that I'm in it for. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'd rather work it out with you, but on some real stuff, that shit.
Because I can understand that.
The shit that I didn't see.
But I think people don't realize, like, when you get married, and
now we stuck.
Yes, because like when you're dating is different. When you get married, it's like
because there's kids involved. Like now I'm stuck because there's kids involved. So now I have to find ways to love you, right? Instead of like I have to find ways to love you. But it's true. I have to find ways to love you. I have to find ways to like you because we can't get a divorce. You know what I'm saying? Our divorce is the absolute last option. Like don't throw Christianity in the mix of it. Yeah. Don't let us both be Christians.
We're going to be stuck together now?
Oh, my hell no.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Jesus, no.
So are you more progressive in the sense of, like, are you more traditionally, or are you more, like...
in terms of what?
In general, like relationships, like divorcing and stuff. Are you more like, what is your philosophy? Are you like divorce is like pretty much not an option, or only like end all be all option?
To be honest with you, I think that divorce is an option.
Okay.
Right? Because even let's say I do get married and it's with somebody that I like and I want to stick it out with, if divorce is not an option, then people settle into unhappiness because you're not going to leave me. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I can do whatever I want because you're not going to leave me, right? When in reality, that ain't true. Like, that's not true. That's not true, right? Like, that's not our first option. But check this out, bro. I was cool when I met you. I'm gonna be cool when you gone. It might take a little while, right? But I was good when we met.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So
sometimes those relationships change you. Sometimes those relationships do change
exactly. But then again, like that's the thing. Like everything started off happy, and then it kind of switches, and we stop working at it. You know what I'm saying?
And that's one thing.
And in the event where somebody stops working at it, divorce is an option. I'm not in the business of keeping nobody that don't want to be kept. The doors is not locked.
You're gonna work the whole time for it, but they're not gonna any work involved.
I don't want to be married to nobody that feel like they trapped.
Yeah.
And should nobody want to be married to somebody that feel like they trapped? Right? I'm here because the door is locked. No, it's not. Open the shit. Right? So then I think it's better for a relationship when two people make a conscious commitment to know I could leave. I don't have to be married, but I want to be.
Yeah.
I think that's more beneficial.
But that's a lot harder to find.
It is. But you know how you find it?
That's rare.
You know how you find it? By keeping divorce on the table.
Okay.
That's how you find it. Honestly, in my opinion, right? Okay. I would rather be with somebody who
openly says like, we can get a divorce whenever you want. This is not going to work.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that what I'm saying is that I would rather be with somebody. That's a part of it. What I'm saying is that I would rather be with somebody who is mindful of the fact that neither one of us has to be here. Right? Like, think about that for a second. I don't have to be here, right? Like, when I say all I have to do is stay black and die, I mean that shit, right? Because both of those things are inevitable. So as humans, we need to understand that you don't have to do shit. You don't have to work. You don't have to do nothing, right? But if you don't do these things, consequences incur, right? Okay, same thing with marriage. You don't have to be married. You don't have to be married. That's true. You don't have to be married. And I think that if people understood that on a truly cellular level, like, I don't have to be married, then
you wouldn't be settling for so much. Like,
then you wouldn't be settling for bullshit. You wouldn't settle for bullshit. And I honestly think that the marriages that did exist would be happier. I see a lot of people who are married who don't necessarily want to be.
And they're stuck, essentially. Like, they feel like they're trapped or
stuck. Like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, what do I do if I'm not married?
Maybe
nigga, that's not a reason to stay married.
Are you saying that they're like attached to the title, or they're afraid like they don't want to start over? Attached to the
title, attached to the family, attached to everything but the marriage. I'm attached to the idea of it.
Got you.
More so than I'm attached to the human.
Yeah, that's a problem.
So yes, divorce should be on the table. Yes, divorce should be on the table.
But then
I want to be with somebody who's making a decision every day to be with me, even when it's hard.
I understand.
And I'm in turn making that same decision.
It just, when you say that, like, I think maybe the thought process of me is like, if that's the case, then what's the point of getting married? You might as well just stay together instead of getting married.
No, because there absolutely is a point to being married. Marriage is beautiful. It can be beautiful, right?
Yeah.
But it can also be fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Right? That's true of anything. That's true of everything.
Yeah, with marriage, it's
anything can be beautiful and anything can be fucking terrible. It's about the people working at it.
And I think people got to realize that marriage is like, it's not going to be all fun and games, number one, but number two, like, I think when you marry somebody, you sign up to, you're going to get to know the good and worst parts of this person, everything. And your job as your partner is to help help this person become better while they help you become better. So all the demons and shit that you have and that they have, the people that are going to see it is the two of you guys. You know, no one's going to be seeing all this crazy deep bottled up shit that you have, probably besides you two, because there's only two of y'all go in the bed together, you know?
I hear you, but something about what you just said don't sit right with me.
Okay,
when you said it's your job to help her get better and it's her job to help you get better.
Well, okay.
That's
okay.
not no. That's
let me
personal. It's my
it.
job to help Chantel get better, regardless of who I'm married to, and it's my husband's job to support me and pray me through that process.
That's what I mean by help.
Because
it's
only
support.
God can do it.
That's what I mean by help. Is support.
Okay.
So to clarify, I mean I'm supporting you.
Right.
With even the fucked up shit that you do or have gone through, the traumas, the breakdowns, the hurt, the generational traumas, I'm here to support that.
Because the reason why
I'm here to support
and
that.
the reason why I say that is because that's a God thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's a you and God thing. So even being married, right, together, there are so many things that even within our marriage are a you and God thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So helping somebody through their traumas, that's beautiful, but that's not anybody. That's a me and God thing.
For sure.
So if my husband is going through something, that's a him and God thing, because I can't fix that.
But you can support him in the process.
I can support him through that process. I can pray him through that process. I can, you know what I'm saying, cook dinner if that makes the process easier. I can be sensitive to that. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I can't fix him. That's
true. And I think a lot of people, and I noticed that there's a dynamic I've seen of the difference between men and women, just generally speaking. It's not, verbatim, but I noticed that I think we talked about this before. A lot of men are going in a relationship thinking that the women are going to stay how they are when they met. And a lot of women are looking at men and seeing the potential in them. And then they marry based on the potential. The woman will marry based on the potential that the man can be. And sometimes a man will marry the woman based on how they are today. And then what happens is when women start changing and men are like, I want you how you used to be.
Yeah.
And then the women are like, I thought you said you wanted this, this, and this. And he's like, well, you knew where I was at here. And then so they're both now in a fucked up situation.
Even though that's a fucked up situation, I don't think that fucked up situation is grounds for divorce. Right? I think that that's an instance of it's an instance of maturity, right? Mm-hmm. Like, there are certain things you should have addressed before you got married. Thing number one you should have addressed before you got married is if this nigga never changes, y'all good.
That part.
That's rule number one.
That's a very extremely important point.
That's good.
Because if you have to have that awareness going in, like in the event that he doesn't live up to this potential, can I stay with this for 20, 30 years?
And the reason why I say that is the Christian side of me, because the Bible calls us to submit, right? Mm-hmm. So if you want to do this thing God's way, you don't have to, but I would like to. Mm-hmm. If you want to do this thing God's way, the Bible calls you to submit. So when I think about that, I think women think about like submitting to the best parts of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not to the parts you don't agree with.
Yeah, you want to submit to the real ass nigga that you know is inside of him, right? But can you submit to the stupid shit that he's going to do? Right? Can you be virtuous and submit to the stupid shit that he's going to do while encouraging him not to do stupid shit? Can you do that?
That's a hard pill to swallow.
Because that's the job, right?
It's a hard pill to
That's
swallow.
the job, right? That is the job ultimately. And then are you marrying somebody who is committed to their own self-growth just as much as they are committed to you?
That's a good point.
Because some people are not, right? Like, I am committed to being better at all costs. I want to get better. I love knowledge. I love learning new things. I love thinking about new things. I love that. So I am committed to that version of myself. I cannot marry anybody who is not also committed to that same ideology for them. Right. I can't.
That's like equally yoked. In that department, equally yoked.
And that's not even just talking about like spiritual levels. That's talking about like, I think honestly, when God said it, I think he was talking about job levels. I think he was talking about income levels. I think he was talking about sex drives. Everything. I think he was talking about everything. Don't be unequally yoked, because that's going to cause problems. Because that will cause problems for sure. Because when you guys are not on the same page in some levels, it will cause a problem for sure. The way you guys spend money, your ideology about spending money, y'all need to be equally yoked in that.
Yeah,
right.
that's right. It's very rare to find people that are equally yoked in like a lot of big things like that.
Yeah,
very rare.
But that's what I'm saying. Like when you're dating, this is the shit that we need to be talking about.
Oh yeah, for sure. You gotta figure out that information.
So
quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, stop sending your representations on these dates. Like, stop sending your representatives on these dates.
Maybe on the first date.
No, on the first date.
But
I feel like you should send you on the first date, because you will know after the first date whether I want to get to know this nigga or not.
No, I had a friend, right? Okay, I had a friend. Him and his girl been together for I think 10 years now, maybe 8 to 10 years, something like that. And he was like, they met online. Then like she moved to like from out of state to his state, and then they kind of met up, hung out for a while, and then they stayed together. But he was like telling me, like, in the beginning, I was being this like all my shit. I was up front. I never faked it, didn't lie about it. Like, I was an asshole. I was like the worst of me in the beginning. And then he was like, after about a year, he was like, I realized like I showed her the worst of me and she's still here. I'm giving her everything.
That's beautiful.
And I thought about it, and it was really
rough. Like,
it was
that's
really
a little
weird.
Risky. That's a little risky.
Because you turned on a lot of people immediately.
That's a little risky.
Can we like small talk first? You know what I mean?
Like that's a little risky. So granted, like, yes, you want to know stuff, but I'm not asking like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you to be an asshole.
Yeah, but he was saying like how he was just really firm up front and wasn't gonna sugarcoat shit to anybody at any time. And he gave her all of that. You know, even being the woman that you want to be with, he gave her all that, and she still stayed, took it. And then he was like, after that year, I was like, that's me and her. I thought it was different, but it was very intriguing because I thought about, we always wait to show the shitty part of us way too late. It's like you wait for a couple years and then start showing the baggage, and it's like, if I knew this baggage was here, I probably wouldn't even be here. So
I think honestly that he's being too hard on himself, because from a woman's perspective, when I hear something like that, men are thinking like, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to do this. You know what I mean? And do that. And I think that the right woman will see something, will see gold in all of that. You know what I'm saying? The right woman will see gold in that and be like, this is the way you are. This is what I'm seeing. Right. But I see something else behind it too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's probably why.
And some women will, especially if there's that connection, like even though he's all of this shit, but like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There has to be something else. And the reason why there has to be something else is because I know me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's a part of it too. So I think maybe he's being too hard on himself, and he wasn't as big as an asshole as he lets on, or at least not to her.
I mean, no. I mean, okay, I will say this. This is this same guy. He's
an asshole.
Oh, he's an asshole. He told. I mean, we've talked about numerous stories, our relationships and stuff, and he was like, "Yes, I told that bitch leave. She want to fucking leave. She can go whenever she wants." I'm like, "What?" And he was like,
"He talks to his girl like that still."
I don't know if he does. I'm not sure.
I'm like,
but I mean, it was somewhat recent. I was like, damn, really? I thought it was at first I thought it was kind of crazy, but then he was like, no, like I'm not gonna be in a relationship with anybody like this. Like she's not, like she needs to work on herself too. I work on myself. She needs to work on herself too. But I'm not dealing with that. She needs to understand like that. If you're not here, I'm not doing that.
That kind of honesty is refreshing. I mean, I think that you got to phrase the way you say stuff.
It was, the way he said it was harsh. I'm like, damn, bro, I would be pissed. But I was like, I guess if that works.
But like, here's the thing.
But he's willing to take the consequences for that. He's willing to take the consequences.
So when people say crazy stuff, right? And granted, the way that they say it may be crazy as fuck, right? And that may turn you off, right? Mm-hmm. But take a minute and think about what it is that they said. Mm-hmm. Take a minute to think about the content, not the delivery.
Yeah, what he meant.
Yes, not what he meant, right? But what he said, the content. Take a minute to think about the content of what he said, not the delivery.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So if the content is solid.
Mm-hmm. What he's saying was, look, if this is how it's going to be, we're not going to be together because you already know I can't take this and you can't take this, and that's it. I know me enough to know I'm not dealing with that. And if this is how it's going to be, no.
Solid advice.
Which I thought it was cool, but
he said it in a fucked up way.
But you know, but also that's how he is. So I guess it's kind of normal for them, you know. But I mean, I liked
say that about me and the way I talk. So I mean,
I thought it was cool. I mean, I thought it was crazy.
Listen to the content.
But then I was also like, I wouldn't necessarily use that delivery, but that's not me either. That's not my style.
I really don't know nothing, y'all. I just be up here hypothesizing. Just so you know, I don't know nothing. Mm-hmm. I just be hypothesizing. So
that's good.
Maybe I'm wrong.
We're getting your thoughts. We're getting your real raw thoughts.
Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me.
I don't think it was wrong. I mean, when we were talking, I was like, I don't think it's wrong what you said. Mm-hmm. I just don't think I would deliver it that way. I would deliver the same message, but not in the same way.
And here's the thing. If somebody delivered it to me like that, I would be pissed.
Yeah, for sure.
But again, I also have a reflective component to who I am as a person, right? And I'll think like, damn, that nigga got a point. Fuck. Right? Like, because again, that's
you're a different breed. You're a different breed. You're a different breed.
I think I'm normal. But the point that I'm making is like, I hope focus on the content of what's being said.
Not the delivery of how it was said,
not the emotion. Not necessarily the delivery or the emotion behind how it's being said. However, this is something that I struggle with, right? Okay. Saying things in a crazy way out of emotion. We've talked about this. We've talked about this. This is my area of growth, right? Okay. And I understand that in order for me to make it in professional settings, right? In order for me to be a better leader, right? I have to work on the delivery, right? I have to work on the way that I'm saying things, right? And not saying them out of emotion, but dealing with fact. Because when you're talking to people, a lot of people don't want to hear that emotional shit, especially men, right? So when you're talking to people, you need to put that shit aside, right? And speak to them out of fact, right? And speak very clearly based on how you want your message to be received.
That's true.
All of these things are true.
And depending on who your audience is, how you deliver it.
All of these things are true. However,
you still struggle.
God ain't through with me yet.
It's so funny how we're aware of this stuff, but yet it's still hard to do. Like,
absolutely.
Intellectually, it makes sense.
Absolutely.
It's easy.
Absolutely.
Don't get mad when someone says something. They're going to trick you on purpose. Okay. Look,
even overweight niggas know they got to eat vegetables. Like, overweight niggas know they got to eat.
Going to. Does he know?
Overweight niggas know they got to eat vegetables, right? Alcoholics know they need to stop drinking.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We know a lot of shit. Like,
very good.
We know a lot of shit.
That's a very good point.
I don't like. What does knowing have to do with it? Really, knowing something really has nothing to do with it. Although it's half the battle, but shit.
Yeah, it is half the battle. I mean, it's the catalyst for change, but you have to know to change. You know, but even when you know what, like someone was like, knowledge is power, but I'm like, yeah, knowledge is power.
Knowledge is half the power.
Knowledge is power when you actually execute on the knowledge.
Yes, knowledge is half the power. So having it, yes, is important, but like, how are you going to execute? But here's the thing: executing on something is so much harder than receiving knowledge.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because
it's the most difficult part.
And that, like, even we can use a church stuff. You get a good word and it feels good. Ooh. Oh yeah. Oh, if that's mine, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna be better. I'm going to do it.
Yes, Lord.
I'm going to forgive myself.
Yes, Lord.
I'm going to forgive the people that did me wrong.
Yep, you crying.
And then you get home and you get a call and you like, fuck.
You are laid out on the altar, crying, snotting. Yes, Lord. Lord.
It's all good when the information you hear it.
It's all good.
But then when you apply it, it's not easy to apply.
Until somebody say something crazy to you.
And then you got to hold that stuff that you're not trying to do anymore.
But here's the thing. Here's growth. Here's growth. And I'm recognizing this in myself, right? Okay. It's how quickly you recognize the error, right? So I need to deliver things better. I need to stop acting out of emotion. I need to, control my words, blah, blah, blah. Work on my delivery, right? Yep. Work on my tone, right? All of these things I know, right? And then something happens and you're going to get instant Chantel, right? Because you're always going to revert back to what you know.
Yeah, habitually.
You're always going to revert back to what you know. What Chantel knows is the crazy face. And that'll make no sense. Why wouldn't you just blah, blah, blah? You not listening, right?
Okay.
That's the way Chantel would answer that.
Okay.
Right? And then,
let me think.
And like 30 seconds later, I'm like, I messed up again, right? Like how quickly you're able to recognize the fact that you just messed up. And you're like, oh, shit. Right? And then if it happens like that, then I guarantee you the next conversation you have, you're going to take a minute before. Because maybe you're good in 15 seconds to realize, or maybe you'll think about it beforehand. What I'm saying is because you just saw the ways in which you fell short. Yeah. Like it was just painted out to you. Like you were just firsthand to the ways you fall short, right? So then the next time somebody says something and you're like,
I used to saying that, I feel in my soul that... But it's what's the hard part about what you're saying is because doing that so many times, it can breed resentment.
Not resentment. Well, it only breeds resentment if you don't want to be better. If you're being forced to be better, then absolutely it can breed resentment. Because think about it, if you're doing this for a purpose that you may not get, but if you're honestly intent because I want to be better, right? Chantel, I want to do this. Okay. Then no resentment at all. Why would I resent myself?
I think because of the way when you're phrasing it, the example I was thinking was someone says something kind of crazy to you and you want to immediately jump at them like now, but you're like, no, don't do that. Yeah, but also the point I didn't bring about was you still can address the conversation in a way that's conducive to both of you guys without having to do that reaction. Yeah. But if you don't address that, then you're going to have the resentment. Yeah. Because you'll be sitting there like, they said it again. I didn't say again, I'll let them go. So I think that having the also not reacting, but then also being able to deal with the situation.
That's just one side of it, right? Because I honestly think that there's a way to address a situation with another person using the right words in a non-emotional tone so that they get it and nobody takes offense. There are ways to do it. Yeah. We haven't mastered it.
For sure.
Chantel hasn't mastered it. She don't know. I don't know. But it's been a situation where it's like, somebody tells me something, right? This happened to me the other day. My boss tells me something. Oh, you know what? I'm glad I have you here because while you're here, then when you get ready to do X, Y, and Z, make sure you do, right? Real passing conversation, real short, right? And I'm like, and what she said, right? It's not what she said, what she wanted me to do made me feel some type of way because I don't want to do that. I'd already set up in my mind the way that I was going to do it. I don't want to do that, right? So then I was like, right? So then my first instinct, right? Because I don't want to do that. Is to be like, so you want me to do X, Y, and Z? And the way I said it, like it's coming across.
It's coming across like there's a problem with what.
Yes, it's coming across like there's a problem with what I said, right? So I sit on it for a little bit. And I'm still processing. It takes me a little while to process, right? So then like 20 minutes go by. And I'm at it again. So wait, you want me to do boom, 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 boom? And she was like, no, not necessarily that, but do X, Y, and Z, right? And I was like, I did one of those, right? And I was like, and she said, no attitude. And I said, and then I was like,
you're like, crazy as heck.
So then I was like, and mind you, we're on a Zoom call. It's not a face-to-face interaction. So I'm like, no attitude, right? And then but at that moment, I instantly checked myself. I said, nope, no attitude, because this is not about me. Yeah, this is not about me. You want me to do something, but this is not about me. No attitude.
This is what I need to do for the job.
No attitude.
So I do have a question. We'll wrap it. We'll probably like another 10-15 minutes. But how do you feel about conflict? Like, are you a person that shies away from conflict in general? Are you like, I don't care, I can battle? Like, what is your stance?
It depends.
It depends on
a lot of things. If I need you, if I feel like I need you to get some shit done, then we're going to talk about it. But it's
conflict. I'm not saying conflict is a bad thing.
It's just, not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not a bad thing.
I just want to.
But if this is some half-ass friendship, right, where we kind of cool and we hang out on weekends, but it's not that deep, I don't give a shit. I'll never talk to you again and won't think twice about it, right? There's no conflict, right? Like you said something about them. That was that. It was fun while it lasted, right? And I will feel...
And then remove yourself indefinitely.
And I will feel nothing about being like, well...
Really?
It's fun while it lasted, right? Okay. Now, the growth in me.
Okay.
Right? I feel like I'm always speaking from like...
The growth in me now.
Like
how I was a few weeks ago.
Speaking from two sides because like lately, like if 2020 has taught me anything, it's taught me that maybe the way that you set up is wrong.
Set up?
Yeah. Okay. Maybe the way that you're set up, maybe your default response and default reactions and the way that you just do things naturally on default, maybe that's not the way it should be done. Maybe it's wrong.
Yeah, that could be.
And like that's a mind-blowing process.
That's really hard because you have to tear down belief systems that you had for years.
Oh, yeah.
Like you gotta say like all this I was telling I was wrong.
Yeah.
Eesh.
So maybe you were wrong. Right?
Eesh. And if you're wrong in this one particular thing, all these other beliefs you created from that are wrong.
Yep. So maybe you're wrong. Maybe you are wrong. Right? So that's what 2020 has taught me, that maybe I'm wrong. Okay? But like it sounds terrible, but it's actually beautiful. It's actually the best thing that could have happened because from here there's an infinite amount of growth that can happen from this place, for right? Sure. The growth that stems from this is infinite, right? The pain going into it is fucked up though, because you're like, well, how could I be wrong? Like it just, you know what I mean? And how open you have to be able to receive that, right?
Yeah.
So it's a fucked up process. Maybe I'm wrong, right? So you take that into account.
But the thing is that it's good that you're aware of that because a lot of people don't even get to that point.
I'm aware of it now.
I mean, it took me years to get there, but
I wasn't aware of it.
Now I'm like everything I feel now could be wrong later. Like I'm always have to be aware of like the possibility that everything I'm even saying on this podcast for every episode could be potentially wrong, and I have to be aware and understand that I can recant my statement at any time and say I was wrong.
That's the beauty of growth, though, because the situations and the circumstances and the things that were happening in my life at the time are different than the things that are happening in my life now. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
and you might have matured in different ways.
Environment plays a huge role in this, right? Another thing that plays a huge role in this, I think, is being open to people. Right? Being open to different people telling you maybe.
Have you looked at it this way?
Yes. And people I
love that.
And not people telling you you're wrong, but people telling you like, what if this happens, right? Yeah. Or you see this happen. Or better yet, nobody tells you, but you see somebody do it differently.
And you're like, wow.
I didn't even see somebody do it differently. That is totally contradictory to the way that you would have done it. And you see their success. Right?
And you're like, wow. And think of it, if you would have been closed off and closed-minded, you wouldn't be able to process that, hey, their method may work for me.
Right. But what happens is, especially with females, with girls, what happens with females. If you see another lady, right, a woman, come in here and do something differently, totally different from the way that you've done it, right? Most females will look at that and be jealous of it.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. In my opinion, they will be jealous of it.
At least what you're from your experience and
From
stuff?
my experience, they'll be jealous of it.
Really?
You know, like, why is she doing this? Why is she doing this?
Really?
Why? Oh, well, we don't do it like that here. They will be hesitant. There will be some sort of hateration in it.
Really?
Yes.
That's so annoying.
Without a doubt.
So annoying.
Ladies, talk to me. But in my opinion, from my experience, there'll be some sort of hateration in it, right? Okay. Why she thinks she could do this? Why she thinks she could do that? Well, she just like me. I ain't no different than her. There's some sort of hateration in it. But with me, I am instantly attracted to it.
Okay, gotcha.
I gotta know. How did you do it? Why did you do it?
I'm not jealous.
How come you put it on that way? How come
impressed.
You did it like this? Why did you do it like this? Well, how come you said that to her? And tell me about this and tell me about this and tell me about this. And I will suck it up. Suck it up because I want to know. That's something that's in me. I want to know. I want to be better. But I think a lot of ladies will look at something like that and be intimidated. Maybe not jealous, but intimidated.
But it comes off as jealousy.
And that intimidation will cause maybe a little bit. Yeah. But it takes a very secure person. And I'm pretty, even though I just said, like, you know, I found out, you know, I do a lot of things wrong. I'm pretty secure with who I am.
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
I'm pretty secure in Chantel.
That's good.
She be fucked up. She be tripping, but.
That's interesting. You know, I want to go back to the conflict point because I identified something with myself that I had no idea, and I found this out literally yesterday. And I was kind of pissed. I was upset with myself, kind of. But I realize I'm more of like a passive kind of person. I'm like chill, you know, whatever. Don't rock the boat as much. And I don't really care for conflict. I was talking with my buddies. He's like, yeah, I don't think you care for conflict. And I was thinking like, I don't really like conflict. I don't. Like I try to avoid it. Depending on like, if it's like a debate, I'll debate. But if it's not in a debate setting and emotions are all, I don't want to go there because it's just the reason. So yeah. And the reason why is because the way I grew up, every time conflict happened resulted in fight, like physical fighting. So now that like something happens at work or personal or somewhere else, when every time it gets to the conflict point of where emotions are involved, in my head, I just try to avoid it like the Black Plague because in my head, I'm like, it's going to be fight mode. Like instantly. And I've seen it in numerous interactions with people that I've had. Every time I get into a verbal, you know, altercation, I'm already ready and they're already ready. So like it reinforces like conflict means physical fighting. And so what I had to realize was like, I do avoid conflict, but not for the reason of I'm afraid of conflict. I'm afraid of fighting because I have too much to lose. But my friend was like, you know, you don't need to have to fight every time you have conflict. You can just have a conversation. It should never have to come to that. But in my head, I'm like, that doesn't even make sense.
So do you think that you were involved in more fights or less fights growing up knowing that? Do you think you fought more often? I
fought more often than the average, but I didn't get it. But I also stopped getting into altercations. I just totally like when people would do something wrong, I would just, okay, I'll get over it. But I also did that. I did that whole growing up. Like my whole life growing up was you got to get over it because you know having a disabled brother who can't understand, you can't reason with somebody. You can't say, well, you did this wrong and this is messed up because mental disabilities are there and mental illness is there. That conversation can happen. So growing up like that for 22 years and then leaving and going into the real world, it's hard to shut off the, I can't even reason with you because I'm and I know how men get too. Men will get to that fluctuation point and then, hey, what the fuck, you know? So I just learned this and it was crazy because like now I'm trying to reprogram my brain to be like, you can have conflict and it's safe to have a conflict without getting physical. But then a part of me was I was never used to identifying my emotions, that when I do have conflict, I get overly emotional where like it makes me want to cry. Like it's an influx. It's like all the emotions of years come up when I have a conflict. And then it's like, I'm shaking, my hands are shaking, my eyes are red, I'm emotional. And who wants to be talking to some guy that's crazy like he's going to knock you in the head?
It's because you don't let it out. It's because you don't let it out enough. But another thing that I was going to say was that as important as conflict is, I think picking and choosing who is a safe person to be in conflict with is just as important. And I know that sounds strange, right? Because some people are not a safe space for conflict in the event that, you know, they may want to fight or they may not know how to take it. Do you understand what I'm saying? And they may, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, I would absolutely avoid conflict with that person, right? Sure. And then other people are a safe space for conflict. And you'll just know that, you know what I mean? By knowing the person, right? Like I can tell them this, you know what I mean? And they may not react this way. So I think a safe space for conflict is just as important.
Yeah. And that's something I'm trying to figure out and learn because like, I'm putting it out there for a particular reason, but like, I don't want to have to avoid conflict. I want to be able to have conflict and be like, whatever the fuck. How you're like, all right, I'm going to see you again, talk to you, fine. In my head, I'm like, you want, what the fuck? What you want to say? Like, because I'm already primed to think that they're going to do the same shit. I'm like already, and when my friend was like, you are perpetuating the thing that you don't even want. Your game already going in there, MO is already kind of back in your head to fight, which is gaming the whole conversation to go to fight.
Yes,
and
because
I was like,
when you're saying it with like a let's get down attitude.
Yeah, because I'm already like, what?
So then the person's probably matching your energy. They was probably like, well, but all right.
Yeah, I'm like, right? So I just pretty much like I made my own bed.
Self-fulfilling prophecy. That
part. And it's something I'm learning. But it is hard to have conflict because usually you'll know if I get uncomfortable because my eye will start twitching, and in my head I'm like, my eye's twitching, and they think I'm crazy, and I'm like, oh.
If I ever see your eye twitching, I'm gonna call it out.
Please don't.
I'm gonna call it out.
There was one time I don't know what we were talking on the podcast. We were talking. I start getting real like I started getting real. I wasn't mad at you. I was just like, you said something that kind of hurt my feelings, and I was like, oh, and I was like, your eye twitching at me, kind of twitched, and I was like, oh shit, I like it's twitching. Okay, now calm down. And Michaela was right here, and I was like, oh shit, like
you had your. What did I say? Damn.
I can't remember. It wasn't even that big of a deal. I'm just more of a sense of.
You're probably lying. Didn't say, it was probably really big. I'm sorry, man.
No. It wasn't. I don't remember what it was. It had to be. It was probably in the last month and a half. I don't know what it was. I think it was something to do with like race. I don't know what it was exactly.
I'm
something.
Sorry.
No, it wasn't your fault. It was just you had said something, and I was like, nah. And we were kind of going back. I'm like, no, and I was like, oh hell no. And then you said something, and it kind of got me.
Get fired off the podcast.
No. I think what happened is you got me. You got me. I'm like shit, and I had nothing to say, and I was like, man, fuck her.
If I get fired off the podcast, y'all better ride.
I was like, man, fuck her. That's what I was like, fuck her. She don't know.
Hey,
but it was funny.
If I get fired off the podcast, y'all better ride for me like Nipsey Hussle. I'm just playing.
I would never fire you. I would just never call you back. No, I'm just joking. No, I would never.
Y'all honestly, better ride for me.
I would never do that. I'm more straightforward. With you, I can be straightforward.
Yeah.
You seem like a safe person to be straightforward with because you're straightforward. So making straightforward comments is a lot easier.
Yeah.
Other people will be like, I don't know what you're gonna do.
You never know. I could be crazy.
You could be, but
I am actually. I am.
I feel like you are.
Super.
I don't think you're that crazy. I don't think you're that crazy. I think you're more. I think you're more. I think
you're that crazy.
I think you're more sensitive than crazy.
Yes.
So, and I think this the showman of anger is just I'm really sensitive and hurt.
And I go up on you, niggas.
Yeah, but you understand because it's like you're sensitive and you protect that. It's very vulnerable.
I can't remember the last time I actually went up on anybody. Can I?
When's the last time you cried? Ooh. Like real genuinely like not really? Like not for Jesus cry like in a prayer, but like.
Yeah, I cry all the time.
Oh, you do? Okay, that's good.
But
that's healthy.
Honestly, it's been like a month.
Really?
I'm like, I cry all the time, but I honestly can't remember the last time I cried. But I'll cry about anything.
Do you cry over like sad movies? Like, so sad.
No, that's my mom. And I'd
really?
be like, bro, that wasn't even sad. And she'd be like,
it's like the puppy's leg is broken. Like, why are you crying? It's still alive. It's actually just limping. It's totally fine.
That is my mom for real. And I'd be like, why are you crying? And she'd be like, it was good. I was like, no, it ain't. Like, it wasn't. It was not that good.
Honestly, I never cry in movies. The only movie I do cry every
I'll cry
time.
At some, but like,
no, there's one movie.
Broke.
No, one movie gets me. I've only seen it a couple times. And I refuse to watch it again because it hurts me so bad. Mm-hmm. You never seen the movie called The Notebook?
Oh, I hate that movie.
Okay, so I didn't watch the whole movie. I watched like maybe half it to the end. And in the end, when I realized the story was about the couple, that's the old couple, mm-hmm. and when they're at the end of the movie, they're dancing
and they die together.
No, they're dancing, and then like as they're dancing, I think I don't know if it's the guy or the woman, mm-hmm. she like remembered who he was. And they start dancing and stuff. And it's like such a beautiful moment. Like, wow, these old folks, they remember, they're together, they're in love. Like, wow. And then all of a sudden she's like, who are you? Get off me. And starts, and then like pushing him back. She's like freaking out. Then the guy has a heart attack because his heart was broken by his wife who forgot him. And it made me just, honestly, I cried. I was like, that would be so hurtful for this old man who loves his wife this much. And she forgot him again because his heart was broken. He got a heart attack?
I hate movies like that.
At least they died together knowing.
I despise movies like that.
That hurt me. That hurt.
I hate soppy love stories. I hate movies like that.
Really? I like them.
I do. I don't like
that one hurt me. That makes me just emotional every time. I'm just like, the pain I see in this man.
Have you ever seen The Guardian?
The Guardian?
Where Ashton Kutcher and Kevin Costner.
Oh, when they were the boat marine people?
The Coast Guard?
Yeah. Okay. I seen it a long time ago.
I cried at the end of that movie.
Didn't, what's his name?
He let go of his hand. Yes, I cried at the end of that movie.
Yeah. That was a good movie. I seen that when I was in college. Very good movie.
What else? Oh, I Am Legend?
Yeah.
When he has to kill his dog?
Yeah, it didn't bother me. I was like, sorry, buddy.
That was his best friend.
I was like, and then I need some food, man. Fire you up. That's so
that
bad.
Hurt me. That was his best friend. He used to talk to his dog. Like, I was like, that's the only friend he had left.
Like, it was like, Wilson.
Yo, I think I might have shed a tear about Wilson too. I probably shed a tear about Wilson. I definitely shed a tear about the dog in I Am Legend because like that was his only friend.
I can understand. I just don't have an attachment for dogs.
Or how about in I Am Legend when he was talking to the girl, the people that he made in the
the mannequins and stuff.
He was like, please.
When we asked her, when he asked her out or something like that,
there's a moment after that right? Because he goes in like earlier in the movie where he's all good, like he's just making small conversation with the fake people, and there's a moment when he's like talking to her or something. He's like, please ask me like something. And he's like begging for that human interaction. Yeah.
Like, remember, because he had then the tear come down,
and I was like, bruh, but it's fake. But I know you lonely.
You know what it is,
and the dog is dead. And like,
it's weird seeing grown men cry makes me cry. When I see a grown man hurt,
seeing people in general cry makes me cry. If I see people cry and it's like something like genuine, and I'll just be like seeing that emotion, like, I feel you. To that.
I feel you. I don't know why. When Rocky, every time I see him get emotional, it makes Pastor. Every time he gets like I literally, when I see him, I mean like there's nothing I can do about it. I'm just like, to see another man be so like, I'm like, nigga. Like, that's how it feels. I really don't know why.
If I see somebody getting emotional, then I will. It's like a connection thing. You know what I mean? Like connecting to that. I'll do that.
I don't do it with women, but only with men, particularly when I see if a woman's crying, I'll be like, I'm just like in my head, like, help, protect, cool. That like my mind is there. When it's a man, I'm like, nigga. Like, I'm sorry too. Like, I don't know why
cry faces you gotta edit out. You gotta edit.
They're all gonna stay. They're all gonna stay in here. Damn it! You know what? Sometimes we forgot to do this shit again.
What?
Put the plug in the beginning of the episode, subscribe and all that. Why do we always forget?
So
your job is to tell them to subscribe in the beginning, okay?
I'm telling them right now.
In the beginning.
I'm telling them right now. Everybody stop watching.
Turn this off and subscribe, please.
Turn this off and subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button on the video. Go down and comment below about the ugly cry faces that I made, or Anthony's twitching
Who
eye.
had the worst ugly face today?
Anthony in the twitching eye, or it could have been me, because I got some really good ugly cry faces. But go ahead and subscribe right now.
Yeah, please do.
And like the video. Now.
Real talk, my eye does twitch though, and it's like really like you never seen it while I was at church.
Dude, when
they call me to go on the mic, I'd be like, or when I know I'm gonna be called soon, Bible study when they're waiting to say like, "What you got out of church?" and I'm like, "Please don't call me." And I'm like, I'm getting more. The more I wait, the nervouser I get, and the more I would twitch. And I go up there, grab the mic, I'm like, yeah, so I'm looking like a psychopath.
Eye twitches are so subtle because when I drink a lot of caffeine, I'll get them.
Oh, really?
And yes. And they're super subtle. Like nobody can see it. It just feels really glaring. But typically nobody can see it unless they're looking directly at you in your eye.
Well, that's what happens when you're on stage with a microphone. They're looking at you
not in your eye. Like nobody's like, like it is eyes.
Like Twitch, gotcha.
Yeah, Twitch.
I'm like,
so
maybe it feels like because I can feel it. It feels like it's so noticeable, and it's like I'm like seeing my.
It's like somebody knocking behind your eyelid.
Yeah, and so imagine trying to perform, like not perform. That's the wrong word, but like
I just usually like.
I'm just like, I hate it. I wish I just had a regular like twitch in my leg, or like people get nerves or they shake.
Twitch.
I'd rather have like a shake in my hands than a twitch in my eye.
Leg twitch.
Like, okay. I don't know. Some kind of, I don't know. I'm just making,
right.
I'm just hypothesizing everything, guys. Want to let you know I'm hypothesizing.
Guys, we don't actually know anything. Like, we don't have degrees in this shit. I be making stuff up. I'm not married. I don't know. It just sounds good. It sounds good to me at the time, and it's the way that I live my life. But shit, I could be wrong.
If or when you get married, you might have a different opinion.
Oh, for sure.
Because you can be like, oh, hell no.
I was stupid, right?
I don't know what I was talking about.
I was stupid, right? And you know what I'm saying?
Even the stuff I say, it only works for me. I'm not saying to anybody else how to do it. I'm just saying this is the advice that works for me and hopefully works for you too. Again, I'm not telling you I'm right. That's what I do.
I don't actually know anything, folks. So with that being said, make sure you
go ahead,
subscribe and like this episode.
Yes,
and leave a comment about the stuff that I don't know.
At least 5 words. Okay, it helps out the algorithm.
5 words. I'm
gonna be honest with it. It helps the algorithm. So yeah,
it helps
5 words or more. Honestly, I want to have a discussion. So if y'all have something you want to say it to my face, homie.
Oh, battle in the comments, yo.
We already got a couple people battling about Trump and stuff. So I don't care about politics, so it's okay. But
it's over.
We'll talk about that next time. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Another episode on Unpack Your Bag Podcast, episode 22. And we're going to try to get to 100 sooner than later.
100 episodes.
Yeah, I want to get to 100 before. I want to get to 100 before, with less than a year, 100 episodes in less than a year.
Oh, that's not going to be hard.
Well, 2 episodes every week.
That's
means
not hard.
100 episodes in a year.
That's not hard. We already at 22?
Yeah.
So that's going to be what, 30 weeks?
Dang, you're good at math. Shit. I don't know. I hope you're right.
It's less than 30 weeks.
Yeah, probably.
22
probably 30
episodes.
40. 50 weeks of 2 episodes is like 104 episodes.
Yeah.
So half of that 50 episodes at 25 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So then we're already at 20
episodes.
something.
Yeah. So you need roughly 75, 77, 78 more episodes.
Yes.
Divided by 2 episodes a week is what?
I don't know.
It's an odd number. So, I mean, it's not an odd number.
No, it's like probably half of that. So half of 78 would be like 30 something. 34. Yeah. Are you good at math too? Good. I'm usually the math guy, but you took the cake.
I'm not that good at math.
Until next time, guys, thank you so much. That's how many episodes we're going to have this year. Until next time, deuces, peace, love, and hair grease. And go ahead and cuss on the way out.
Bitch.
A little more emphasis on that.
No more, man. No more. I'm out. Y'all know what I meant.
How you feeling? How you living? Yeah. How you feeling? How you chilling? Well, alright. From the floor to the ceiling, everyone in the building, if you feeling alright. Well, alright. How you loving? How you eating? Yeah. How you moving? How you breathing? Well, alright. From the floor to the ceiling, everyone in the building, if you feeling alright. Well, alright. The monoflow